Yes, please come. Please take your seat. Hi, good morning. My name is Chirag Desai, and today I'll be taking your IELTS speaking examination, which will be a mock test for you. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, fine. Let's start with the full name, please.
My full name is Bhagyesh Kotia. You can call me by my name Bhagyesh.
Do you work or study?
Nowadays I study.
Okay. What subjects are you studying?
Right now I'm preparing for IELTS because I want to go abroad and study further in Masters of Computer Science and Engineering.
Fine. Tell me something about your family background.
Well, my mother and father are both doctors as a medical profession. They both are Ayurvedic doctors, and my education is consisting of computer science and engineering background, as well as my sister, which is older, who is older than me, and she is mechanical engineer.
Fine. Bhagyesh, can I call you Bhagyesh, right?
Yeah.
Right. Do you have few friends or many friends? Why?
Well, if you talk about friends in general perspective, I have lots of friends, but there are few from those who I feel like being a true friend, or whenever I in need of friends, they will help me a lot, and I can count on them to be.
What qualities do you consider while making a new friend?
Qualities to be considered from my perspective are trustworthy, not thinking about something like using somebody or using another knowledge or perspective upon yourself. And also one of the most thing I try to find in a friend is helpfulness. If he or she is ready to help me.
Who is your best friend and why?
My best friend is Rhythm. He is very much helpful to me whenever I'm in need of something. He will help me, and I try to find things like if I am in perspective, if I am in capability that I can help him, then I will try my best to help him in any situation.
Who comes to you first, family or friend? Why?
Well, if I talk about family and friend in general perspective, family comes first always because no matter how many closer or how many times you rely on friend, there always be a chance that you need to be relied on by family. As like if you are crying, then you can find a friend's shoulder. But
Okay,
if you
fine. Let's talk more about living arrangements, Bhagyesh. Would you prefer to live in a traditional house or in a modern apartment building? Why?
well, I prefer to live in modern apartment building because it has very much amenities as like swimming pool, gym, common hall or common house. So that's why I find preferable to be in modern apartment.
Can you tell me something about the area you live in?
Well, area I live in is Nicole, and it is very much in locality. It is very much precise and clean. Like the roads are always at a junction, which you can find on, and cleanliness as well as silent. Like environment is pretty clean, and there is no noise pollution around much.
If you could make changes to your area or your hometown, maybe, what would you change?
Preferably, I will change the pathways. Like there are some old roads or buildings in my locality, which nowadays people generally don't use it. They buy it and they tend to make profit from selling those buildings or apartments. So that's why if I can change them, I will change them to something like a garden or building.
Fine. Would you prefer to live in a big city or in the countryside? Why?
I would prefer to live in big city because rather than living in a countryside where there are less amenities and much more healthy environment, I would prefer to be live in big cities because there are big education school available, malls are available, gym are available. These kinds of amenity are not available in countryside much, so that's why I would prefer to live.
Mhm. Okay, thank you for your responses for part 1, Bhagyesh. Now I am going to give you a cue card. It will be a simple topic on which you need to speak for 2 minutes. But before that, you can make the notes of a speech and responses if you want to, and then you can start speaking for 2 minutes. Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Fine. So here is your cue card, and here is pad and pen. Your time starts now. You can start your response from now onwards. Start.
In everyday life, there has to be some kind of time when people generally are in need of some role model or some inspiration personality which they can rely to. In my life, as a role model, I will consider my grandfather on the top of the list because I learned a few things which are very helpful to me in my lifetime from my grandfather, and he is very inspirational personality to me because of his helpful and caring nature, as well as the leadership quality which he taught me to throughout help me in my life. So that's why I prefer him as a role model. And generally, I think that if you consider someone a role model, he or she needs to have qualities like leadership, bravery, knowledge, inspiration. These kinds of quality are needed to be a role model from my perspective, and I find it very helpful if you find a role model in younger generation, like if you are in childhood and you are worthy of a role model, then your life will be very smoothly going onwards because the qualities you learn in your childhood are very much helpful to be in your later life. So that's why I prefer to have a role model nowadays. And role model generally build foundation of your life. So that's why if you find it, certainly younger generation needs to be in good foundation if you want to build your life on that. So that's why.
That's it. Okay, fine. Thank you very much for your responses, Bhagyesh. I would like to speak on some topics, but anyway, let's start with the role models, in fact. Right. Are parents ever role models? Why? Why not?
Well, first of all, the parents of a child are pretty much the role model of every child because the child learns everything from starting onwards to learn walk to speak. These kinds of things are always taught by parents, as well as way of life are taught by parents. So parents are the first role models.
Do you think today's celebrities are good role models?
Well, yeah, certainly. Some of the celebrities like to, pamper a lot in their life. So that's why these kinds of celebrities are pretty much good role models, like Amitabh Bachchan, Sachin Tendulkar. They inspire people to work hard and rely on yourself, not others.
Should famous people think about how their actions might influence young people?
Yes, definitely. Because if you get a certain level, like you are a celebrity and you have general following of people, then your every action counts. People are nowadays following you each and every day because of internet and social media. So you should think about your actions because your actions influence a lot of people and they may change their future.
Many people say there is one rule for celebrities and another for ordinary people. Do you believe this?
No, I definitely not because I have seen some celebrities which are down to earth and they behave like ordinary people even though they stand above on all the peoples from the rest of the world. They try to be an ordinary citizen, they stand in line, they prefer to eat food like ordinary people and don't have a vibe of rich people. Like they don't boast a lot or wear heavy jewelries and things like this.
Hmm. Do celebrities have a right to their privacy, or should they accept that their lives will always be played out in the public eye?
Well, from my perspective, I believe that celebrities should have some privacy because everybody needs some of privacy in their life if they want to have a life itself. And like I believe, people should just give them space. Nowadays, because of social media, some celebrities don't get some space. Like even if they are traveling, they will be surrounded by people every day. So yeah, I believe that they should have some privacy, but that's general perspective.
Mm-hmm. One last question, Bhagyesh. Many people believe that celebrities and public figures like politicians make the worst role models. Do you agree with this statement?
Yeah, I agree on some of it because if a celebrity or public politicians does their work ill-natured work, then it will impact a lot of people and they will make worse role models instead of if celebrity behaves like a good-natured citizen or a politician behaves by the rule of government, then they should make a good role.
Fine. Thank you very much for responses, Bhagyesh. Uh, Here I am going to give you my feedback. Overall bands would be again 6.5. There is obvious reasons for it. Let me start with the positive outcomes. Your oral fluency is very good. You speak in a flow and that makes you an eloquent speaker of English. Secondly, you use a variety of words. Your vocabulary is also sound. Some topic specific vocabularies for role models and celebrities actually cast a spell. It is good for it. Grammatical aspects are also great, but you need to work on some details like, for example, nervousness during the first part. You know, you speaking very general as far as cue card is concerned. Your cue card is very generalized, right? So you should work on to be like question specific. For example, describe an individual you spoke about your grandfather, why you look up to him or her. So you should speak about the characteristics of your grandfather, not a generalized role model. Which of his characteristics you admire? So you again you need to speak about his qualities, which impressed you, and what, in your opinion, makes a good role model, especially for young people. This was the question entirely spoke about the future. So you ultimately skipped out or missed out, like unintentionally about the two questions, which has to be confined to your grandfather, right? So you need to work on it. Rest was fine. Uh, just be specific and precise whether it is a cue card or part one. You should speak in detail regarding the part three, that is follow-up questions. It was a great. I think you can score 7.5 points if you work on these areas of improvisation. Thank you very much.
Sure. Well,